All right, Harrison and Jason coming to you from 3 Generation Racing. We're going to make some changes to this bike. We ran it in the box stock class at the 330-foot drags at the parking lot over there, and we ran well. We weren't able to take any video because we were constantly adjusting and tinkering, and we're going to try to, at the next event, we're going to try to do a better job of videotaping. But we kind of figured out from what the other guys were doing that we needed to be lower and we needed to be longer. So we cut the tabs off the front of the bike and we blocked up the bike to about where we wanted height-wise. And then we just moved the tabs up further up the tubes. And then we stuck a level on here and we wanted a little bit of downward rake. So we have a slight amount of downward rake, maybe 1-2 degrees. I haven't put an angle finder on it, so I don't exactly know. And then we blocked up the back of the bike and cut the tabs off the back, and we kind of figured out that this is about where we want the rear tire. So at this point, I got some tubing, and we're going to make, this is going to come up from here, and this is going to come down from here, and then we're going to make a bracket in the middle, and that'll locate the rear tire, and that'll get us lower and longer. So right now we're thinking about going to a junior dragster 18 by 8 slick, and we took the clutch off and we're going to run a torque converter. It seems to get us off the line a little quicker. So the box stock engine ran really well, and probably got to make a couple more adjustments to it. So another thing that we had to do was we had to flip over the engine bracket. Now, I don't know if this makes any sense, but we had to make it lower to make it taller. And what I mean by that was, in order to clear this torque converter, we had to bring the engine up. But that created some problems here because we never accounted for that when we built it the first time. So we cut the engine plate out, we flipped it upside down, and then we installed this plate to bring it up exactly where we wanted it. Because this plate sitting on the plate when it's right side up brought us up too high. The torque converter itself is a little close, so I might have to make some modifications onto here and then support it. I might just flatten this out slightly and then weld in some gussets on a triangulation underneath the chain, so that would kind of go like that. I don't know if you can see it, and we'll put one in on this side too. Haven't exactly figured it all out. Some of this is we're going to build as we go and figure out the best way, because space in here is at a premium, and as far as the box stock class, we need to run the fuel tank where it is, the air box where it is, and the exhaust where it is, and still have a little issue there. So we might end up trimming a little bit out of the heat shield so it clears this bar. So still have to do something with that. And at that point, we'll probably have to take these studs out and replace them with Allen key bolts. So if I need to take it off, I can. With these studs, you can't get it out. So we'll take the studs out and replace it with bolts, and then we can take the bolts out and remove this out the bottom. So that's where we're at. We set forth an ambitious plan for this bike. Turned into a lot of work, but it always does. So I just wanted to give you guys an update. We wanted to put front brakes on this bike. Hydraulic style, so had to make a bracket, and we're going to weld that bracket onto the fork. And what we ended up doing was using a back wheel that we could mount a disc to, and this took quite a few hours just to work it out. What we did was he took a sprocket and we ground the teeth off, and we turned the sprocket into a disc because it fit the back wheel just perfectly. But we ended up having to space it out and then get the wheel center and make spacers and get the wheel exactly center. And it seems to be center now. Had a countersink. Alan had bolts into the disc just to get that to pass by the fork. And we're ready to slide that disc on there and weld the bracket in the correct spot. We're trying to race this bike tomorrow, and we ended up going with a junior dragster 8-inch wide, 18-inch tall slick, and that's going to create its own challenges. We're very tight on space. We want the wheel dead center, so we're going to be making up some new spacers there. This bike is just all mocked into position. I might end up moving this rail out slightly so I can get a little bit more space between my chain and the rail. Right now my chain is really tight to the tire, but before we weld anything in place, we're going to make sure that everything clears. Most likely we're going to have to cut the engine plate off and move it over a little bit and get the whole engine to slide over to the left. My friend Mike at Night Owl Motorsports built us an incredible engine. We're going to take the box stock motor off for tomorrow, and we're going to put on this Hot Rod Predator 212, and hopefully the bike stays down. We're going to use a torque converter, and we made some plates here where we can actually adjust the rear wheel backwards. We can adjust the slack in the chain from the rear wheel like a motorcycle instead of doing it from the engine. I cut the plates off when the plates were mounted here. I just cut them off. We're going to put them there, and we're going to weld some adjusters on there, and then put a little angle on here, and then we'll be able to space the wheel back exactly evenly. So that's where we're at. It is about 11 o'clock in the morning, and we still have quite a bit of work here, so we're going to be thrashing on this thing all day and all night to try to get it ready for the race tomorrow. Nothing like last minute, right? Talk to you soon. All right, 11 o'clock at night.